Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. We are February 21st. It's been a little while. I've been busy, very, very busy. Things might look a little bit different. I have a new computer. I upgraded my computer. Anyways, I need an upgrade, so I got it done, which means my configuration is a little different. I think the colors are a little different, but listen, it is what it is. I'll adjust as we go. All right, so what do we have to talk about? Well, let's start with Quebec. I left myself a couple notes here, two notes. Let's start about Quebec. Last video I was talking about how I was heading to Quebec. I brought some frozen pizzas, trying to get things under control because they haven't been under control in quite some time. I'm sorry, I'm shaking my camera. So I brought my frozen pizzas. Well, bad news. Out of 3 pizzas, I ate 1 because the microwave at the two things. The microwave and the fridge didn't work at the hotel where I stayed at. The fridge was not keeping it cold enough, so even in the fridge, they were defrosting too quickly, and the microwave would spin, would turn around, but never actually heated it. So the first day, it heated it enough that the cheese melted, sort of. It wasn't frozen. That's about as far as I got with it. So it didn't melt, but it was no longer frozen. I kind of went through and I still ate it super cold. It's kind of gross, but I did it the first day. The next 2 days I fell off the wagon because I could no longer stick to my plan, and there was a lot of day to night. I'm making excuses. It's my fault at the end of the day, right? I could have done better. I didn't. But ultimately what I ended up doing is I would end up eating stuff like Subway, like what I used to do back in the day whenever I would lose weight at the beginning, which is not a great option. Eating Subway is not fantastic. It's better than eating McDonald's or KFC and all that stuff, but it doesn't. It's because you're not setting the right message. You're going to the restaurant again, and that didn't make things any better by going to Subway. And then plus I had lunches provided, and it's very hard. So all right. So ultimately, let's talk about my weight. Okay, and this is going to be a tough video. It is a tough video. I'm not discouraged, but I'm not happy with the results. And it's a bit of a cautionary tale because we see in the forums a lot. I don't know if you guys participate in the forums. I do, in the Saxenda and Wegovy. I don't know why I can't say it. It's like I never learned how to say it correctly. But I participate in those forums all the time. I try to be encouraging with others, let them know that, listen, we can do really great. There's going to be some bad times. I've had both. You guys have seen both. That's the whole idea of documenting this, is so you can see it's not just all wonderful and we're all on unicorns riding our way to success. There's good days, there's bad days, there's struggles. But hopefully, if we can just keep our hopes up, or just have faith in ourselves that we will figure this out, we will get there. And to be honest with you, since 2023, I've taken a big step backwards. Okay, which means I've stopped Saxenda, right? Saxenda wasn't working at one point. Let me try to turn off some of these sounds. Saxenda stopped working for me. I seriously feel like it just didn't have the effect you get whenever you started. Now I've gone through the whole cycle, went up to 3.0, and then I stopped it again, and I stopped for a couple of weeks and restarted, and they helped again, and then I didn't even quite make it to 3.0 this time. It just wasn't effective, and whenever I would give myself a bigger dose, it would make me feel nauseous. So I said, you know what, maybe it's done for me. Maybe I can get off now and just keep losing weight. Well, it went the opposite. So the lowest I've been was 275.8, I think. I would say 276 was my lowest ever. I weighed myself this morning at 292. Now, I'm not saying I put 16 pounds of fat. I know I didn't. But I've been eating too much restaurant. So even if I'm not eating 3,500 calories, most days I'm sitting around 2,000, 2,500. I've had some 3,000 calorie days, which is unlike anything I've done whenever I was losing weight. I was eating 1,200 comfortably, and I was happy about it, and I felt good about it, and I thought my diet was fantastic. I was meeting all my needs. Things just came off. And this is what happens a lot, right? All the time, is whenever you lose a lot of weight, and eventually you kind of lose your mind and you go right back up, right? And you go back up just as fast as you came down. So we're kind of in that phase now. And it's unfortunate because where I was confident that I finally had the tools, because I know the diet I want. I know what needs to be done. I've overcome some hard challenges. I've recovered a few times already where I went on a binge, and then all of a sudden I was getting all these cravings, and I fought it off and went back to losing weight. I thought I finally had it. Well, unfortunately, it was a failure, you know, and it sucks saying that I failed it, but I did. And I'm going to be honest with myself, and it's going to only get worse, because now I'm going on to a cruise, and I don't expect to do much better. So how does it? So okay, I want to talk about the feeling. So I don't feel like I did before, like, because I've done weight loss before where I've lost not as much as I've lost this time, but I've lost weight, and eventually I just kind of went right back to my old routine. I remember back when that happened, I would get these crazy cravings. I'm not getting that anymore, but here's what it's like. And I'll give you the example of what happened 2 days ago, or yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm driving down the road, and it's dinner time, and my family's out and about doing something. I know I'm on my own, so I'm thinking in my head, my plans are I'm going to come home, I'm going to make myself a nice little dinner, and that's it. I've had a good day. And then I drive, and then I drove by a Wendy's. And I haven't had Wendy's in a very long time. And I know I enjoy Wendy's, and what goes through my mind is, you know what, you haven't had that in a long time. For old time's sake, we'll just be good about it. Instead of getting the whole combo with the fries and this and that, just grab yourself, I like the spicy wraps, grab yourself a couple spicy wraps. And I do. And I stop there, and I get myself 2 spicy wraps. Well, that's about 850 calories and a ton of sodium. And that just kind of sets the tone again, because almost every day now I'm kind of like, well, I'll just go downstairs, I'll go to the restaurant, but I'll just get less than what I would have gotten before, which I do. But it's just still not the right. So my mindset just isn't right. I'm not doing nearly as well as I was before. I'm not resisting the hunger as much as I was at all. I'm giving in, even though I'm not as bad as I used to be. All these little amounts are adding up to being that, well, I'm 292, right? So that's 16 pounds. Huge. Now, like I said, I know I'm filled with sodium, and I still drink a ton of water. So whenever I eat sodium, I balloon up. That's what I do. But it's still, there's even if it's not actually 16 pounds, there's weight that I put on. I've had to put on weight. So I'm thinking maybe I put on 6 and have 10 pounds out of garbage in me that I need to get out of my system. Well, that's still a big deal, and I'm still going the wrong direction. So, throwing in my towel, folks. Hate to say it, but I am not ready to get off of Saxenda. I have proved it. I tried. I failed. And you guys have seen, if you guys have watched my journey, you guys have seen my highs and my lows, and how gung-ho I can be sometimes, and how strong, and how I can resist and get some big losses. And even with all that, getting off of Saxenda, I'm starting to balloon back up. So it's real. It's a cautionary tale, right? This is people that talk about this in the forums. They're not kidding. Your whole psyche changes once you're off. So I need to work on this some more. As of tomorrow morning, I'm going back on Saxenda. I'm going to go back. I was hoping to talk to my doctor. Hasn't happened. He hasn't had it. It's hard to get our schedules lined up. So I'm going to go back on tomorrow, and kind of in hopes that it gives me a couple of days to get back into it, and so that I'll be okay for the cruise, and hopefully it's going to help me not bounce off the walls and not chain myself to the buffet, during the meals. I am doing a lot better than I was at 360. There's no comparison to where I was before and where I am now eating wise. I'm a lot healthier, but I'm still going the wrong way. So that's it, folks. I am not I hopefully you see it in my face. I may be disappointed, but I'm not giving up. I don't give up. There's no plan B. I've said this is the beginning. It has to work. So listen, I tripped. I've had about 2.5 months of wee time and eating all kinds of stuff. And even though I've been trying to do well and I haven't done well, the good thing I hope is that I've been eating a lot of crap that I've been not eating for the last 8-9 months or whatever the hell it was since I started. Stuff that I wasn't craving whenever I was losing weight, but I kind of it's hard to say that I crave, but I kind of now I'm more open to it. Where I'm like, well, we're here, might as well have that for old time's sake. A lot of old time's sake. Oh, haven't had that in a year. Let's have that. Oh, Big Mac, sure, Big Mac. All these types of things I wouldn't have done before. So I'm kind of getting it out of my system is what I hope, because I don't feel any happier after I've eaten those meals. So, but yeah, so it is what it is. Going back on Saxenda starting tomorrow, folks. 0.6, we're going to start over. I am glad I was able to document this a little bit so you guys can kind of see reality, what it's like, even if you're somebody that was really into your weight loss and you've lost a lot of weight. Anything is possible when you get off of it. So this is some of the effects perhaps of Saxenda, right? Things that I didn't realize, how food is no longer in front of you. How do I say this? No longer in your mind. It goes in the back of in your mind whenever you're on Saxenda. Maybe this is one of the effects that I just didn't really realize was that efficient, and it is, maybe. But we'll see by me going back on Saxenda now. I've been off of it now for quite some time, so I'm assuming last time I saw it for 2 weeks, and when I came back on, it had some really great effects. Hopefully, I'll get that again. And hopefully, even though I don't expect the cruise to be fantastic, hopefully after I get back from the cruise within the next month, I can get back to something reasonable, or at least start going down, right? Because I am way on the other side of this now. I am struggling. Yesterday I was able to skip my breakfast, which was the first time in a long time, because I always I pick at stuff. So very odd, very, very odd to have things in control for such a long time, and all of a sudden all your old habits start creeping back. And even if I'm trying to do a lot better than I was, it's like it's a new battle, a different type of battle. So that's where we stand, everybody. And don't give up. Don't get disappointed. Don't get discouraged by me. Hopefully, you guys are doing just fine. You guys, I know we all have our own struggles. I still have faith that we're all going to find our way. We're all going to find our way. We tripped. I lost some time. Obviously, the 2.5 months, if I would have kept going, maybe I would have been under my 260 now instead of 290, right? A 30-pound swing. But listen, what are we going to do about it? That's in the past now, and we look forward. And had my fun, I guess, if you want to say. And now I'm hoping to get things under control. I hope so. I'm trying. I really am trying, but it's odd. It's very, very odd feeling to not have all the same control I had 3 months ago. Working on it. So keep checking in, guys, and I'll let you know how things go. But tomorrow, February 22nd, we're back on Saxenda for now. And whenever I see my doctor, maybe things will change. Maybe he'll put me on something different. I don't know. So we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I will see you guys I'll probably try to do one more video before the cruise. And I'll try to get some footage of the cruise that I can kind of put together afterwards. So, all right. Take care, everybody.